Jacob, mate,
Oh, hey, mate.
what are we filming today?
It's a Mazda CX-5.
Oh, the Mazda C...
Yeah, I got you.
Yeah, I got you. I got you on camera.
I'm getting back to work.
That's right, everyone. We have the Mazda CX-5 here. This thing is actually pretty damn sick.
Love the color.
I love the color, man. The really cool thing about the Mazda CX-5 is that it combines turbo and luxury. Jacob, what do you think of that?
I think it's very comfortable and actually quite fast.
Yeah, well, I would have to agree with that. In fact, what I'm going to show you guys today is everything new with the Mazda CX-5 and what makes this thing so damn cool. Before we get into that though, Jacob,
What's up?
where do we go for finance?
Driver!
And how do we get there?
Click the link in the description or the pinned comment.
That's right, ladies and gents, all you have to do is click the link in the description below or the pinned comment. You can get the absolute best financing deals for you. And best of all, if you use that link and that link exclusively, not only will you A, be helping the channel out, but B, every settled loan gets a $150 fuel card. That's awesome.
Never seen you from this angle before, bro.
How does it look?
You're bristling.
No, okay, let's get into the review. Now, as always, I want to start with how this thing looks from the exterior. Jacob,
It's so beautiful. Look at
isn't it absolutely stunning? Let's just quickly talk about the key highlights on the front of this thing. Check out these headlights. They are new. They kind of have this L shape to them, and that's the new design language for Mazda. It's going to match up with the CX-60, which we will be reviewing. And Jacob, what should they do right now?
Subscribe!
And why?
Because there's a dancing baby there, and there's a dancing baby there, and there's one right there, but you can't see it.
Exactly right. Anyway, back to this. You have a pretty awesome grille. I really like how it's blacked out. The badge itself is also really damn cool as well. Let's come take a look at the side. This is actually one of the really nice things about this. You get like these machine gray alloy wheels. They are quite big, 19 inches, but you got a fat amount of rubber there too. And that really, really helps with the ride, as you'll see in a moment. And what you'll notice here on this Akera is that it doesn't have the stupid black plastic cladding. It is body colored panels. I think this thing looks absolutely stunning, especially in this Soul Crystal red. Jacob?
Couldn't agree more.
How
It's
nice
just-
is it?
Oh, it's phenomenal. It just pops out. I love
Pops out, even in this dark weather here. That doesn't even make sense. And then coming to the rear of this thing, I really like these tail lights here. Again, new for the facelift. We have the Sky Active G Turbo, and that's because this thing has the Sky Active G engine, and of course it is turbocharged, and it's awesome. CX-5 all-wheel drive there, and you know what else is new, Jacob?
What?
These. The exhaust pipes. They're a little bit fatter. Overall, man, even though they've just facelifted this thing, I think it is absolutely stunning. I love the way that this thing looks, even though it hasn't changed too much in design over the past 5 years. One of the best looking SUVs out there.
Beautiful. Seriously. Gorgeous.
Let's take it for a drive.
Let's do it.
Let's head on to Saucy Gravel Road. It
been a
has
while.
been a while. Oh. Actually,
Luxury.
one of the things this gets that's new is new drive mode. Bam, off-road.
Oh my God, can you feel the difference?
Not at all.
Me neither.
It changes the traction control system and the all-wheel drive system to just be a little bit more grippy, you know?
Very cool.
Bit grippy, but don't really notice it, don't really care about it. This is one of the worst roads in the world, right? And that's a big statement, but it is awful.
Yeah.
It is just a gravel, slippery, slidey road. I'm pretty damn comfy in this thing, man.
I'm relaxing.
It's nice. Not gonna say it's like, you know, S-Class, but it does a pretty good job.
It gets us close enough.
And holding onto this steering wheel, oh, it's a nice leather unit, my
Very
friend.
nice. And it's heated.
Oh, it's heated.
Yes.
You've been living with this thing for a week.
I've been enjoying it.
Give me a one-sentence summary.
Easy.
But that was one word. Beat
Even
me.
easier. Even easier.
Let's put the car into sport mode, bro.
Okay. If we must.
What are we about to give it?
The sporty sauce. Oh, you can hear the turbo.
Yeah, bit of a whistle. Look, it's not gonna knock your socks off, but it's actually pretty damn quick.
It is. It surprised me the first time I kind of gave it some private sauce.
We're going to have to launch this thing in a moment and test its 0 to 100. But from the seat of my pants, it's decent, right?
Yeah, and especially for a car of this size.
Bit of torque steer
Oh,
there.
yeah.
Now, you can get this car with a few different engines. It's either this 2.5 litre turbo petrol. There's also a naturally aspirated 2.5 litre petrol engine. And there's also a diesel, but they're kind of phasing the diesel out. They had some issues with the diesel in the past, and I think that people are just, don't trust it.
No.
And also diesels are actually kind of falling out of favor, believe it or not.
Really?
Yeah. I want to kind of bring focus back to the interior because I'm seriously wowed by it. Now, this is the top spec Akira. However you say it, it's a nicer. It's a nicer in here, okay? You have this soft touch materials absolutely everywhere. These seats are super duper comfy, and actually they've reworked it for this facelift. So now they've added more bolstering to the seats, and you can kind of tell, right? It like hugs you.
bolstery.
It's nice.
It's actually kind of sporty.
Kind of sporty.
Yeah.
Without being like huggy to the point where you just hate everything and it's not a good like long distance.
It's not bucket seats. More on the comfortable side of bucket seats.
I would agree with that. And we've been driving this thing for what, 3 hours today?
Yeah.
Super comfy. No back problems.
Not at all.
Can't be said of the Haval H6 GT.
Let's not bring that up. We're going to get brigaded on this video.
Let's just say a certain subset of the community, the car community, the Haval lovers, seem to really love their Haval H6 GT.
Oh, yeah.
Saucy corner, bro. Tickle my pickle. Ooh.
Ooh.
Let's see how this bad boy handles. We're not even in sport mode.
Oh, my God.
Ooh, steering stiffens up a little bit. Still a little bit on the light side.
Oh, my God.
That was impressive, man. Bit of understeer there.
Oh, yeah.
Being an all-wheel drive. Now you can get this thing as a two-wheel drive or an all-wheel drive. Of course, we have the top of the top spec, and we have all-wheel drive here. And I think it's the one you want, man.
Especially in Melbourne with the rain lately. Bloody hell.
Unreal. Let's quickly talk about the infotainment display because it's a bit of a mixed bag for me. Now, it's actually quite easy to use. You can use this little controller down here. You can't actually use this as a touchscreen. Mazda don't allow any sort of touchscreen function on this, which kind of sucks. I wish it did have that functionality. Having said that, I think it works really, really well, even with this. The instrument cluster up ahead of you is pretty decent. It's an analog unit, but it's quite high definition, and you can see a few different things in the center screen, so I don't mind too much about that either. You've also got a heads-up display, which is a really, really good heads-up display. In terms of storage, the center armrest, pretty decent size. Glove box, pretty decent size as well. And the door bins are pretty massive. Look.
Huge. Massive Dreamcatcher Coke bottle.
No one would be any the wiser that it's in there. Also, on the Akira, you do get a sunroof. That's really, really nice. And the seats are heated and cooled. The steering wheel is heated as well. It really just does feel like that kind of total package. And actually, man, as we're going highway speeds here, the one thing I'm super duper impressed with is the suspension tuning. That was one of the big things that they changed for this model year, and it just feels that bit better than before. It was fine before, now it feels super duper comfy, especially at higher speeds. The other thing as well is the safety tech in here. Even though it's actually a 5-year-old design, really, it is one of the safest family cars out there. So I really like that. I think that's really, really impressive. And it has the whole safety driving suite. This thing, if we turn it on, will just drive itself.
You know what, man? I think for 95% of people, this is like the perfect car. For a family.
Totally agree. And I don't actually think that you need to necessarily go for the Akira, which is top spec, even though it is super duper nice. If you go for example, the GT below it, that's a really nice car as well, and comes with pretty much all the inclusions that you get in this car. Even the base model is really nice. Negative? I know, it's a bit boring, you know?
It's boring. I mean, exactly. But that's the thing. Most people don't care.
Most people don't care.
So
I do like this though.
it does pull. It actually does pull.
Very torquey 4-cylinder.
Yeah.
Very, very torquey. Doesn't leave, again, you know, much up to the imagination. It's just a little 4-cylinder, but it does the job really well. Now, there actually should be headrests, but we took them out for filming. So what's it like for the backseat passengers? Well, I'm 5'10". I have plenty of legroom, heaps of tow room, and headroom is also really, really good as well. I love the leather, man.
Super nice, isn't it?
It's really nice. It's like very soft, but it still has really good bolstering to it too. You do get a couple of air vents back here, and if you want to use chargers, first of all, outboard seats are heated. That's pretty damn awesome. And you get a couple of USB-A ports in here, which is fine because you can still route the cable out if someone is sitting there. So that's a really good thing as well. Quality back here is just as nice as up front. Don't know how I feel about the wood faux finish, man. How does it feel up front?
I think it's pretty cool. I actually like it. It kind of accents the interior nicely.
Okay, all right.
I like it.
You're fired. I also really like it. It's got a very dark brown interior to it. I'm pretty comfortable back here, man.
I'm glad.
Yeah, like genuinely. So not only have they reworked the suspension of this car, they have also updated the noise vehicle something, NVH. You probably know what that stands for.
The noise in the vehicle, basically. That's all you need to know.
Correct. And so it is really, really quiet in here. Like surprisingly so. From where I'm sitting, I could easily go on a very long journey in this car and be super duper comfy. So dude, if you had to have one negative about this car, what would it be?
Do I have to?
Yeah, you have to.
Okay. All right. Well, I think my only negative would be that I'm getting 11.1 liters per 100 Ks, which is not great for a turbo 4-cylinder.
Guess it's having to push a lot of weight. Definitely doesn't compare very well.
Thanks, man.
Yeah, this thing definitely does not compare to the Toyota RAV4 hybrid in terms of its fuel consumption. That thing would be sitting at about 5 liters per 100 kilometers. But you can't get one of those, man.
And you'd be slightly less comfortable, I'm sure.
Yeah, slightly less comfortable with a worse drive. Speaking of, I think let's test the 0 to 100 of this thing. So, as I said, we're driving the turbo petrol. That means it's 2.5 litre, 4-cylinder, pumps out 170 kilowatt of power,
Damn.
420 newton meters of torque. And by the way, I've heard if you fuel this with 98 RON fuel, which is the highest quality you can get in Australia, then power output is 186 kilowatts.
Really?
Yeah,
That's pretty sick.
that's pretty good.
That's like better than a Holden Commodore.
Why do you have to make me think about things, you know? Why do you have to make me think? You're really making me trawl through my brain. Now, believe it or not, Mazda actually claim a 0 to 100 for this.
Why?
7.7 seconds. What do you reckon it's going to do?
I reckon it's going to do 7.5 seconds.
Ooh, you're an optimist. I reckon it's going to do 0 to 100 in 8.1 seconds.
Pessimist.
I'm feeling pessimistic today, bro.
Well, we got to turn that aircon off then. Prove you wrong.
Okay, well then the GoPro's going to keep dying. Okay,
Have it your way.
we'll turn it down. Not that that makes any difference. Okay, so no launch control, obviously. Drive, sport, okay? Tickle my pickle. Accident. Ooh. Jinx.
You're going to be right, aren't you?
Oh,
I knew it.
Why am I so good at this?
Ah.
So what you kind of notice, especially doing those hard launches, is the 6-speed automatic transmission. But only when you're driving like an idiot, because otherwise it's a pretty silent, easy unit. Doesn't really make much noise. It's just kind of there, but you don't notice it, which is exactly what you want in one of these things.
Exactly.
And then in terms of boot space, it's not the best story, actually, man. On paper, it is smaller than pretty much all of its competitors.
Yes.
By about 20%. Having said that, in actual day-to-day use, I didn't notice that at all. In fact, you can get quite a lot of stuff in there.
Oh, yeah. It's not a problem.
There also is a bit of underfloor storage, though most of that is actually taken up by your Space Saver spare wheel, which is pretty good to have. And also your subwoofer, of course, for the Bose audio system. It has to be one of the best audio systems in any car, man.
It's amazing.
It's mind-blowingly
It's got so much
good.
like depth of sound and clarity. You have to give it a try yourself to even understand what we're talking about, but it's amazing.
And then you can also put down the rear seats and get even more room in here. So it's really not that bad of a story. And then finally, in terms of price, this thing here is 55 grand drive away. It's not too bad.
It's fair.
I think it's fair.
Yeah.
Look, it's not the cheapest car in the world, but for what you get, it's fantastic. You can obviously get into the Mazda CX-5 range for a lot cheaper than that, and you will always get a pretty decent car, no matter the spec.
Completely agree. Yeah.
Okay, so here is how I would summarize our time with the Mazda CX-5. I think that this thing is an awesome family hauler. It's not going to blow you away in its performance, but it does everything just so well. This has got to be one of the best all-rounders out there.
I couldn't have said it better.
Bit of a jack of all trades. But let me know what you guys think down in the comment section below, just below that like button. Do you have a CX-5? What do you think of the CX-5?
We've seen quite a few today. I reckon quite a few of you guys will have one, so let us know what your experience has been.
Of course, if you are looking to finance your next car, you need to check out Driver. Use the link below or click somewhere on the screen right now. There is a little box.
It's completely free. Just go get a quote if you're interested in a car, see what it can cost you per month.
All right, until next time.
Adios.